Okay, so if everybody wants to meet on the mat, hi, welcome to new people popping in. We're just about to get started here. So we're gonna start standing about the middle of your mat, and you can face whatever is your front of the mat, front of the room, and just start to shake it out a little bit. Take some deep breaths. Really find the center of your breath and the area where you really feel that deep, deep breathing. Expand your lungs a few times. Just stand up kind of tall, starting today in mountain pose. So, mountain pose, just like the mountains themselves, standing tall, grounding into the mat, into the ground below you, pressing your feet into where you stand so that you are aware of where you're standing. And then on your next inhale, we're going to go ahead and reach the arms up above your head. Breathe in, reach up, and stand up tall, and just reaching those arms as you breathe. Maybe breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth for some nice ocean breaths. And then go ahead and drop the arms back down. You can face your palms forward so that you get that nice wrap in your shoulders wrapping on the spine. And for today's practice, it's going to be very centered on finding some strength and balance in your lower body especially, but all around connecting with your own body and your strength to support yourself. So if you want to set an intention for connecting with something, connecting with the earth, with the ground beneath you, connecting with yourself, your own strength, set that intention. As we stand up tall in our mountain pose, palms facing forward, feet pressing into the ground. Begin to even wake up like the toes in the fronts of your feet. So you can press those into the mat. Breathe in and out. And again, we're going to reach up as you breathe in. And as we breathe out, we're going to fold forward, bending at the waist so you keep your spine straight, letting your arms fall towards the earth for a forward fold. So your fingertips can land near the mat, on your shins, wherever feels most comfortable to you, but you just want to let yourself hang here. So fingertips hanging, shoulders hang, and then take a deep breath in, and we're going to bring your fingertips to your shins or your knees. So breathing in, lifting halfway, and then breathing out and releasing back to the ground. Keep a slight bend in your knees here as you press your feet into the ground. Breathing in, again, lift up halfway. Your hands can come to your thighs, your knees, your shins, whatever's good for you. And then fold back to the earth. On our next inhale, let's come all the way back up. Standing tall, reaching for the sky in your mountain pose. And then bring the arms down. Keep that breath going. And we're going to go ahead and step your right foot back, left foot forward for a high lunge. So your back foot can be at about a 45-degree angle. And your front foot facing towards the mat, toes towards the mat, back towards the front of the mat, toes towards the side of the mat. Okay, so we're going to stand in our high lunge here, and then go ahead and reach your arms up and kind of connect with that power in the center of your abdomen. So waking those muscles up to support you. You can kind of tuck your navel in as you breathe in. And stand up tall, extend your spine, reaching up. And then we're going to let your arms rotate out and your body open to the right. So you can extend your arms for warrior two. So here you can open your back foot up as well, kind of towards the side of the mat, front foot towards the front of the mat. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Try and open those hips up nice and flush with the side of your mat. And chest big and strong and open. Just connecting down to the ground. And then as we breathe in deep, you're going to turn your front palm, so your left palm, up towards the ceiling. And breathe in deep and breathe out as we reach up towards the sky and back into what's a reverse warrior. So you're going to keep this back leg nice and strong. Press into the outer edges of both your feet and let your right hand kind of hang out along the edge of your leg here as you reach up and back, over. Keep breathing. Keep connecting with your tummy and the energy in that core, tucking those low ribs in. And then we're going to come back to center, arms reaching forward and back. Let's turn that back palm up now. We're going to reach again up and over your head. This time, bring your arm to your leg here for a little bit of extra support, but still pressing into the mat with those feet. Keep you nice and firm. And we're reaching up to the sky here for an extended side angle, and eventually you can reach all the way forward if that feels good, or you can just keep your reach up towards the sky here. And come back up. Arms extending front back. Breathe in. Reconnect with that breath and that core energy here. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Extend your spine nice and tall. One more time, we're going to flip the front palm, reach up and back and over. For a reverse warrior, you can straighten your front leg a little bit, but keep a soft bend in both knees. Pressing the feet into the mat, breathing in, and breathe out, come back up. Turn that back palm all the way up and over for that extended side angle pose. So you're going to kind of wrap your pinky down towards the front of the mat, reaching towards the front of your mat. Let your gaze be straight out in front of you, supporting yourself with your feet. And then we're going to stand up all the way again, arms front and back. Back to our nice warrior two here. And then go ahead and rotate back forward towards the front of your mat. And you can turn your back foot towards the front of your mat a little bit more as well. So we're going to come back to a high lunge or warrior one, whichever you feel more comfortable with here. So you can kind of either keep your heel lifted, or you can rotate the angle of your back foot a little bit so that you're able to get that heel all the way down. So we're going to get a little bit of a bend in the front knee, about a 90-degree angle, and either lifted the heel or angled with the heel dropped in the back foot. And then let's go ahead and stand up tall here. Reconnect with that core energy. Find some balance. So you're going to kind of pull inward with your thighs towards your midline here to really keep your balance, and pull your spine up, extend your spine. Let's take a deep breath and reach up. And then let the arms drop, come back behind your back. So we're going to cross one hand over the other and grab your hands together behind your back, letting them just kind of hang down there, shoulders dropping away from your ears. And we're going to slowly breathe in, breathe out, and lean forward. Let your abdomen, your chest come towards your front knee. Strong legs. Pressing your feet into the ground. Keep connected with that breath. And if you'd like, you can lift your arms, your fists towards the sky for some stretch in those shoulders. Take a couple breaths here. Strong foundation in the feet. And then we're going to stand all the way back up. Letting those shoulders drop down. Chest is nice and broad and open. Go ahead and release the hands. Let's come back to what would be a warrior two. So we're going to rotate that back foot, toes towards the side of the mat. Open your arms up nice and wide. And you can let your fingers drop towards the mat. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Breathe here. And then with your front foot, so your left foot, let's turn those toes towards the side of the mat as well. Let your arms drop. We're just going to stand in a wide-legged stance here. So you've got both toes facing towards the same side of your mat. A little bit of space between your feet, a little wider than hip length apart. Let's reach up. Take a deep breath. And folding from the waist, you're going to fold forward slowly. Take your time with this one. All the way forward until you feel comfortable. So if you end up with some space between your fingers and the floor, that's totally fine. If you end up with your hands all the way down on the floor, walking your hands forward or backwards a little bit to get some more stretch out of it. Whatever feels good for you. We're going to hang out in this wide-legged forward fold. Take some deep breaths, pressing your feet into the ground. Wherever you're at, just make sure you're relaxing your face, relaxing your shoulders, and connecting with your breath, breathing in and out. And on that next breath in, let's bring the hands to the hips, breathing in and standing all the way up. And we're back up to our wide-legged stance here. So let's bring those feet together. And we're going to return to towards the front of your mat here. So wherever, again, the front of your mat is. And we're going to do same thing, other side. All right. So this time, let's keep those feet grounded. And remember that intention you set to maybe connect your feet into the ground a little bit. Feel the mat supporting you. Take a deep breath and reach your hands up to the sky. Feel the length in your spine, tucking those low ribs in for support. Reaching up, and then we're going to fold forward, all the way forward, hinging from the waist. Soft bend in the knees though. Lift up halfway, hands to the knees or shins. And then breathe out as you lower back to the ground. Breathing in, we're going to stand all the way up. Big, strong mountain arms. We're going to ground through your right foot as we step the left leg back this time. So returning to either warrior one, or you can do a high lunge. So your high lunge is both toes towards the front of the mat, back heel lifted up off of the mat a little bit, or you can get a little bit of an angle in that back foot for warrior one. Front knee is going to be a little bit bent here. Right, we're going to lift the hands, breathe in, deep breath, and then open all the way up to your left this time for warrior two. So your hands can be facing the ground, palms to the ground, strong feet pressing into the ground. We got a nice bend in the front knee, strong in the back foot. Press into the outer edge of your back foot, and that'll help support. And then from this warrior two, we're going to go ahead and turn your front palm towards the ceiling, and then lift up and over. Deep breath in, tuck the low ribs as we breathe in, reach up. Reverse warrior. So we're wrapping the pinky towards the mat, bend in the knee, supporting from that core. And then we're going to go ahead and come back up to warrior two, palms facing the ground. Strong, strong feet pressing into the mat. If you press into the outer edges of your feet, that helps a lot. All right, and then we're gonna now turn the back hand to the sky, and you can keep your gaze forward as you reach up and over, leaning that forearm on your front leg. So you don't want to lean too much weight on your front leg though. Really, we want to support from that belly. So let's tuck in your low ribs and press into the ground beneath you. Let your body support itself. Systems of your body support each other from the ground up. And standing up, take a deep breath in. Feel that length in your spine. Turn the front palm up, reaching back. Breathing in. Find some space in that spine as you reach up and back, and then coming back to neutral, warrior two. Turning the back palm up towards the sky, reaching forward. Take a deep breath. Feel that strength in your belly, strength in your core. Stand all the way up for our neutral warrior two again. Good, and then we're gonna go ahead and turn that back leg back forwards. So wherever your either high lunge or warrior one is, return to that position with your feet. All right, so you can get your high lunge, nice bend in the front knee. Keep your hips working towards square towards the front of the mat. So we don't want one hip to kind of win over here. So we need to pull those hips forward towards the front of the mat. Take a deep breath, reach up. Feel that strength in the feet. And then arms drop down. You can cross your opposite thumb over as you grasp your hands behind your back this time. So whatever thumb you had crossed before, do the other way. You're going to take a nice deep breath in, stand up tall. And on your exhale, lean forward slowly. So we're bending from the hips here. Grounding through the feet, spread the toes, press into all four corners of your feet. And keep your hips working towards the front of the mat. Reach those fists up towards the sky. Stretch your shoulders if you like. And then we're going to stand all the way back up, nice and strong. Good, and then we'll go ahead and turn both your feet towards the side of your mat. So I'm going to turn back this way, but again, we're going to get back to that wide-legged stance. Nice and relaxed here, just kind of pressing your feet into the mat to support you. And we'll go ahead and reach up big and strong. Take a deep breath. And feel that balance from your feet pressing into the mat on both sides. Weight evenly distributed. You're going to lean forward, bending from your hips. And you can bring your hands wherever you feel comfortable here. If you want to bring them to your thighs, your knees, your shins, or all the way to the floor. Taking a deep breath in, let's let the head drop towards the floor. Soft bend in the knees. And press your feet into the mat. Still supporting from the core as we breathe in. Breathe out in this nice relaxed position. Let your head fall. And breathing in, hands to the hips. Let's stand all the way up. All right, awesome. Let's bring our feet together so you can be center of your mat. And from here, we're going to move back into a mountain pose. So you can stand whichever direction you'd like here. We're going to be in the same space, kind of the center of your mat, front of your mat for a second. And you can go ahead and take some deep breaths. Let's reach up towards the sky. Again, connect with that feeling of grounding and just being connected to your body, letting your body support itself. So you're tucking your low ribs in so you have those nice supported breaths. And then as you exhale, let's fall forward, bending from the waist. Fingertips fall towards the ground. Take a deep breath in. Let's lift up halfway, fingertips to the shins or knees. And breathe out. Fall back to the floor. And then let's stand all the way up. Reach up towards the sky. Breathe in. And breathe out and let the arms fall. Okay, and from here, we're going to head towards a tree pose. So if you are familiar with this pose, it's a little bit of balance, and we're going to find it wherever you're at today. So let's start by grounding into your right foot. So right foot into your mat, spread your toes, press all of the edges of your feet into the ground beneath you, and start to just kind of lift your other heel up off the ground gently. Just getting a little bit of lift here. So you're standing nice and tall on that right foot. And then as we start to lift, let's go ahead and stand up tall, extend your spine, breathe in deep. And we're going to lift your foot so you can simply keep just on your toe here and get that balance, and maybe just get all the way up on the tippy toe. And push your foot into the ground and then reach your hands up and bring your hands down towards your heart center, palms pressing together. Breathe in and breathe out. So you're going to want to find a focal point in front of you somewhere, and that's going to help with the balance quite a bit. So on the wall in front of you, wherever you're at, picture whatever you can see. Just find a place where your gaze falls comfortably and keep it there. And from here, if it feels good, you can lift your foot and open out to the side so that your inside of your left foot is pressing against the inside of your right foot. And then if you like, if it feels good, you can lift up taller and get your inside of your left foot pressed against the inner calf. Or if you want to go all the way up to your thigh, that's totally good. Just try to avoid the knee area. You don't want to put pressure on that knee area. So grounding into your right foot, stand here for a couple more breaths. We're going to keep your gaze focused, finding your version of tree pose, keeping those palms pressed together for a little more balance. Breathing in. And slowly let that foot come back to the ground. Let your hands fall to your sides. Breathe in big and deep through your nose. And out. And we'll do the other side. So we're going to now ground into your left foot. Spread those toes and start to lift your right heel from the ground. You can tuck your lower ribs in right about the area where your ribs meet in the center. It's where you'll find sort of your diaphragm begins. So when you take a deep breath in, you feel that expansion in that area. Breathe out, lifting up, grounding into the left foot. Let's open that knee towards the right, pressing the foot into the calf, reaching the hands up in the air, and coming down towards the center of your chest. Again, you can find your version of tree pose on your calf, pressing down into the ground and just opening up here, or coming all the way up to the thigh, whatever feels good for you. Keep your gaze on that focal point. Find your center of balance there. Breathe in deep. And breathe out. One more deep breath in here. Breathe out. And let your foot come back down to the mat. Drop your arms. Awesome. All right, so from here, we're going to move into some slightly lower to the ground poses. So Let's go ahead and begin in a mountain pose and reach those hands up tall. So you're going to plant your feet. You can have your feet hip width apart, or you can press your feet together, really together, but whatever feels good for you. I like to have some space between my hips usually. Stand up tall, tuck those low ribs in, deep breath in, reach up. And we're going to fold forward just for a second. Fold forward, fingertips towards the mat. And this time, let's bring the hands all the way down to the mat. We're going to head towards a downward dog. So you can step your feet back and just have your heels heavy here. There's no need to be anywhere close to having your heels on the mat, but you want to keep a soft bend in your knees. Press your fingertips and your knuckles into the mat, nice and firm. Deep breath into that low rib area. Breathing in, relax the shoulders, relax the head, letting your heels be heavy. Let's take your right foot on an inhale. We're going to reach the right toes, right foot up towards the sky. And then bring that foot all the way forward, knee towards your nose, pressing into your knuckles, hands. Let's bring that foot towards the front of your mat here and plant the foot between your hands. So planting your right foot on the mat between your hands, right knee is bent, back leg is pretty straight. And we're in a runner's lunge pose here. We're just going to take a deep breath here. And then gently, let's lower that back leg to the ground. You can have your back toes sort of pressing into the mat, curled here, or you can straighten the foot, press the top of the foot into the mat. Straighten your right leg, and you're going to put the heel straight into the mat, flex those toes forward. So you're keeping a little bit of a bend in your knee, but straightening your leg here. Let your right hip drop towards the mat, flex the foot, getting a nice half splits runner's stretch here. So you're going to straighten your spine, extend your spine, breathe in. So you're tucking those low ribs in as always. Breathe in deep in through your nose and out through your mouth. Here. And then on your next exhale, let's plant that right foot. Come back up onto the hands, so you can plant your hands on either side of your right foot. Plant the hands, plant the right foot, lift that back knee up again, coming back to our runner's lunge. And then strong feet here. We're gonna plant the hands, step the right foot all the way back for a downward facing dog again. So lift the hips up. Let those heels be heavy. Press your fingers into the mat. Whatever angle you're at here is good, as long as it feels good to you. You want to find those natural curves and extensions in your spine. Try and keep your shoulders away from your ears here. And then we're going to go ahead and lift that left leg. Reach the toes up towards the sky. And breathing out, bring your knee all the way up towards your nose. And plant the left foot between your hands. So now our left knee is bent back, our right knee is the back leg. Right leg is pretty straight. And we're just keeping your chest relaxed here, nice and open, shoulders relaxed. Deep breath into that core body. Feel the expansion in all directions in your ribs. And then slowly lower that back right knee. Again, you can keep your toes curled here if that's better for your knee. Or you can flatten your toes, flatten your foot, press the top of the foot into the mat. Straighten the left leg. Just a little bit of a bend in the left knee to protect that joint there, and keep your fingertips on the mat here. Press your right foot into the mat. Both hips aiming towards the front of the mat, and I'm going to try to keep those hips as level as possible. So let that left hip drop towards the mat. Right hip opens up towards the front. Flex that left foot. Nice little runner stretch here. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. All right, and go ahead and come back onto that left foot. Bend your knee, plant the palms, and we're going to come back up with the back leg. So lift the back knee, back into our runner's lunge. Fingertips still on the ground. Strong feet supporting us here. Now we'll plant the palms. Step the left foot back. Let's step back into a plank pose here. Now you're welcome to just head straight to a child's pose here if you'd like, or we're going to do a quick chaturanga to find our way to child's pose. So we'll take a deep breath in and lower slowly all the way through the mat until your belly hits the mat. And then press your hands on either side of your upper rib cage. Press your hands into the mat and gently lift just your shoulders and chest. Take a deep breath in. A nice cobra. And then we're going to curl those toes under and come all the way up, back into downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here. Press the knuckles and the fingertips into the mat. Let the heels be heavy. And then slowly we're going to lower your knees to the mat. And from here, let's actually lower your forearms to the mat as well. So you're going to kind of reach your hands forward a bit, forearms down all the way, touching the mat, pressing into the mat for a puppy dog pose. So your feet, you can either have those toes curled or press the tops of your feet into the mat. I'm going to have my toes curled here, reaching forward with the hands, pressing those forearms down into the mat. Relax your shoulders. Deep breath in and out. And in and out. And then on your next exhale, go ahead and relax all the way back. Let your hips pull back into child's pose. So your hips are going to fall all the way back, relaxing onto your feet. Hands reach towards the front of the mat. Taking some deep breaths here. You can let your knees be wide if you'd like for a little wider, more space in this child's pose. Let your forehead come to the mat. Just relax. Feel the space in your body. Feel the mat supporting you. Notice if you feel any more space, any more strength than when you started today. And then as you breathe in on your next inhale, we're just going to gently kind of come onto one side. You can keep a nice bend in your knee here onto one side. And then all the way over onto your back. So we're heading in for Shavasana here. Whatever is your version of Shavasana. If you want to have a blanket or a bolster under your knees, that's great. If you like your knees all the way to the ground, just simply drop those legs, let those toes fall to the sides. Let your hands open up towards the sky, shoulders relax all the way to the mat. Let there be some length in your neck still. So it's still nice and long in the neck. Deep breath in and out. And if you want to keep a nice bend in your knees here, you can even do that. Let your tailbone be really heavy into the mat. As we spend these last few moments in Shavasana, relaxing and feeling how today's practice settles into our body, just breathe deep. Relax where you're at. I'm going to play some soft sounds as we finish up today. Feel free to let your eyes drift closed or let the eyes fall heavy. Deep breath. If you're still in Shavasana, I'm going to continue to breathe nice and deep breaths into the low belly. And I'm going to go ahead and close the practice today with a couple of Oms. And if you'd like to join in, hum, or just listen, or chant the Om with me, feel free to do that. Just calling in nice grounding energy, feeling the support of the earth beneath us, and the strength and the balance in your own body that you took the time to cultivate today. Great. Go ahead and open your eyes if you are still have them closed. Wiggle your feet, wiggle your toes, your hands. Start coming back into your body. Take some nice, full, cleansing breaths. Thank yourself for taking the time to find some strength and balance in your body today. And I thank you for spending this time as well. I hope you found some good energy, and namaste. Okay, that's where I'm going to end the recording for anybody who is actually here. But